Let's give a big round of applause to Billy Elmer.
Thank you. Thank you. What a crowd. Thank you. Thanks for coming here tonight at the Cafe Brick. Very nice. Relax, I've been fed. Nobody's got to worry about that. I don't like you. Anyway, is this in your way or can you see me? Yeah. A lot of thin people here. You tick me off. No, because you can get clothes anywhere. You can go anywhere and get clothes. You can go to McDonald's. McShirts, McPants, chicken McPants. You want fries with those McPants? I can't wait till spring and get those shamrock shorts. They're my favorite. See, I can't shop at these places. I can't go anywhere and get clothes. We're like, oh, I'm the Gap. Yeah, I'll go to the Gap. And they're, fall into the Gap. Yeah. I couldn't be forklifted into the Gap. If you Vaseline the sides of the Gap, you're not going to get this big boy in the store. That's why I shop the Gorge. There's snacks at the front door there. I like that kind of place. I don't get, it's weird when I don't know if it's different for men or women, but I know for guys, I don't get like nice people to wait on me. I always get that snotty, thin guy, you know what I mean? Open the door, it's one of them chi-chi kind of places, and a guy go, well, look who's here. The Michelin Man needs some pants. I was like, what do you have in my size? And he says, shoelaces.
To some, obesity is a joke, something to be laughed at. But to millions of Americans, there's nothing funny about it. Obesity has long been treated as some kind of character flaw. It's seen by many as a sign of weakness or the inability to stop a bad habit, eating too much or the wrong types of foods. They're often viewed as people who are not active, not attractive, not healthy, and having poor self-control. Recently, research has indicated that people who are obese are discriminated against socially and economically. One study that followed obese adolescents for 7 years found that they had completed fewer years of school, had lower household incomes, and were less likely to be married than non-obese participants.
I think obese people are despised by society. I think they're one of the groups that you can still discriminate against, probably, and get away with it.
Even the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission recognizes discrimination against the obese as a problem in the workplace and eligible for corrective action.
I think society generally looks very unfavorably at people who are overweight. Typically, individuals who are overweight or are obese are viewed as lacking in willpower, having some kind of character defect. Our society worships thinness, and we want everyone to conform to this idealized norm of the supermodel.
Obese people are blamed for their weight and blamed when their efforts to lose it fail. The American public believes these myths about obesity. Some of the doctors who treat obese patients believe them. And sadly, even people who are obese believe them.
Culture blames overweight people for the way they are, and most overweight people internalize this cultural bias, so they beat up on themselves psychologically. So being obese is a terrible disability in a way, because you may be physically limited from doing some things. You're certainly socially limited, but superimposed on that is the blame for your condition that society imposes on you. And so the vast majority of overweight people suffer tremendously from their problem.
See, I'm not really fat. This is water retention. Right now, I'm retaining Lake Erie. It's a lake up in Erie, lady. And I don't like when people use those terms. If you're big, you're big. If you're fat, you're fat. It's like, oh no, he's not fat, he's big boned. Now that we're politically correct, it's like Jurassically challenged, I'm really bulimic. I'm a semi-bulimic. I got the binge down. I just can't get the purge to work for some reason.
So why do people get fat? Obesity occurs when more calories are taken in than burned during daily activity. A variety of factors influence both sides of this energy equation. What has become clear is that obesity is a complex disorder. Lately, more and more physicians have begun to see it not as a bad habit or personality disorder, but as a chronic disease. You might be surprised that I said a disease, but let's think about it. A chronic disease disrupts bodily functioning, develops slowly, may have a genetic component, and persists for an extended period, often for life. Obesity fits this description and is now being increasingly looked at as a chronic disease. Think about hypertension or diabetes. They're both chronic diseases that extend over a person's lifetime. They require regular attention to diet, lifestyle issues such as exercise, and when appropriate, medication. Obesity has all of the same elements. In addition, obesity doesn't have a singular cause. It's multifaceted. Genetic, psychological, environmental, and medical factors all play a part in its development. Growing evidence points to genetics as a strong determining factor in obesity. A study of adults who were adopted as children found that their weight was closer to their biological parents' weight than their adoptive parents. Yet there are many people with obese parents who do not become obese. Environment or lifestyle also plays an important role. How and what each person eats and how much exercise they get also influences whether they will become obese. Recently, researchers have proposed that each person has an internal thermostat, or set point, that tells the body how much it should weigh. In obese people, that set point is higher than normal, so when they exercise or diet, their metabolism slows to maintain their weight. This theory helps to explain why obese people who lose weight have difficulty maintaining their weight loss.
A number of factors contribute to the epidemic of obesity we're now experiencing. One is that people lead ever more stressful lifestyles, and some people respond to that by eating more.
Now here's something we can all identify with. People may eat more when they're sad, angry, or lonely. Although obese people have no greater psychological problems than the population in general, this factor can add to their weight problems.
Oh, thin people. They run the world. It's not fair. They like to torture big people. You know, that's why you always see in the bookstores all the diet books. Where are they? Right next to the cookbooks. Yeah, okay? You ever notice the diet books? They're like real thin, and the cookbooks are huge. They're thicker than a Brooklyn accent. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like the titles of these books. They're ludicrous. What is it, the one? Eat Yourself Thin. Oh, well, I've been doing that for years. You know, that book's right next to the Think Yourself Pretty, and then right next to the one, Slap Yourself Silly. They're all in the same sort of area, that bookshelf there. You know what I'm talking about. I love you. Saw a bumper sticker. I don't like these bumper stickers either. You ever read the one? They had the one, lose weight now, ask me how. So I called the number on the bumper sticker. I said, hey, how? The guy says, quit eating, you big hog. Thanks for that useful help.
Interestingly enough, the U.S. is a country that makes high-calorie, high-fat foods appealing and accessible, and also idolizes thinness, while discriminating against the obese. And even though we are obsessed with being slim, statistics indicate that we are getting heavier all the time. Recent data suggests that 33% of American adults are obese, up from 25% in 1980. If this trend were to continue, by the year 2230, it is estimated that every adult in the U.S. will be obese. Obesity is also rising in adolescence. 10 years ago, 15% of children aged 12 to 19 were obese. Today, 20% of boys and 22% of girls are obese. But what do we mean by obesity? And is it the same as being overweight? According to the National Institutes of Health, obesity is defined as having an excess of body fat. Overweight is an excess of body weight, whether the excess is fat, muscle, or water. It's possible to be overweight without being obese. A bodybuilder, for example, has excessive muscle and would be overweight by most measurements, but is not obese. However, since people who are overweight without being obese make up a relatively small portion of the population, most people who are overweight are also obese.
You know, I just want to tell you people, take care of yourselves, please. Your body is a temple. Mine's a Temple of Doom. Hey, I tried it all. I tried every diet. No, you know what? They try that one that Slim Fast. Yeah, but what? A shake in the morning, a leisurely shake in the afternoon, and then that regular meal later on in the day. Yeah, that works. You know what? I found if you put like a quart of Haagen-Dazs in those shakes, they taste great.
So how can we know if someone is obese? It can be precisely measured using sophisticated equipment, which is costly. Many physicians are now using an accurate and more convenient measurement, a weight for height calculation called body mass index, or BMI. Some clinicians use the term overweight and obesity to correspond to BMI ranges.
Body mass index, or as it is more typically referred to, BMI, is an index or a measure of body composition. It can be useful in identifying the group of people who is normal weight, those who are overweight, or those who are in fact obese.
BMI, being used by more and more doctors, is a mathematical formula that takes into account both height and weight. It equals a person's weight in kilograms divided by the square of their height in meters, and with some conversions can be translated into pounds and inches. A person who is 5'10" and weighs 175 pounds would have a BMI of 25, regardless of frame size, gender, or age. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, obesity is characterized as having a BMI greater than or equal to 27.8 for men and greater than or equal to 27.3 for women. This correlates with the Nurses' Health Study, which demonstrated an increased risk in morbidity for people with BMIs greater than 27.
The body mass index will be an important tool for people to understand what their weight is in relationship even to health. It's a tool to help them understand if they are of normal weight, overweight, or obese. Before, we've always had just height-weight tables, which were not totally always accurate.
As a nation, we have a good idea that obesity is unhealthy, and we're trying to lose weight. But it isn't easy.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my whole family, big people. Yeah, you know what? My family reunion looks like a Sweatin' to the Oldies video, you know what? You get there, you expect Richard Simmons to dart out from a bush crying. Put that cheesecake down. You know how many calories are in that? Come on, everybody, arm circles. You know, it's a sad thing. Richard Simmons is the only guy that cares about fat people, and he wears those icky shorts. Ew. I don't think a guy that's wearing them kind of shorts is going to help me, you know, because I got the blues. I got the Levi 501 blues. I'm blue, so blue, can't fit into those 501 blues. So they sew two together. I'm wearing the 1002s.
Every day, 1/3 of Americans are trying to lose weight. In fact, 60% of American adults think they weigh too much. As a result, the weight loss industry today is big business. We spend approximately $15 billion on diet soft drinks, $2.4 billion on low-calorie meals, and another $1.7 billion for appetite suppressants and powdered drink mixes. All in all, we spend about $33 billion each year on diet books, fasting formulas, diet and low-calorie foods, exercise programs, nutritional counseling, health spas, liposuction, stomach stapling, drugs, and medical devices, all to lose weight. And the result? Most of the weight lost is regained again because people are unable to make the permanent lifestyle changes that are necessary to maintain it. Changes in the quantity and quality of food eaten, as well as exercise programs, are difficult to sustain over time. Psychological issues may need to be addressed as well. And remember what we said about set point? Even when people are able to change their lifestyle, by adjusting its metabolism, the body may try to maintain what it considers to be its normal weight. Possibly just 1 in 20 people who try to lose weight will reach and maintain their weight loss goal for 5 years. Others face a continuing and frustrating cycle of weight reduction, followed by weight gain, followed by weight reduction, followed by weight gain. Like other chronic diseases, maintaining weight loss frequently requires a lifelong commitment to monitoring diet, lifestyle, and exercise. Currently, weight loss efforts for most people revolve around 2 principles: either limiting the number of calories they consume through dieting, or increasing the number of calories they burn through exercise. The weight loss results are greatly improved with a combination of the 2. For those people who have been unsuccessful with diets and exercise alone, and those with severe obesity, there are other alternatives. Medical procedures include very low-calorie diets supervised by a physician, medication, and surgery. Even these medical procedures are not a surefire cure for obesity. This is a persistent disease which requires a multifaceted approach to bring under control and a lifetime of vigilance to maintain.
Yeah, all these exercise equipment on the market there, Floor Master, Wall Master, Ab and flex your abs and all that kind of stuff. I got an exercise bike. I figured, start small. You know what? You can put a lot of clothes on an exercise bike. You know that? You can dry almost half a load of laundry right on that bike. It's worth the money right there. I got my wife the Thigh Master, Nothing personal. Got her the Thigh Master. She bought me the club. Put it on the refrigerator. I think she's trying to tell me something. This Cindy Crawford workout, you ever get that? Oh, man, that's great. It's 40 minutes long. Do I need that much? I can't get through 2 minutes at a time. I had to tape 8 months, 6 to 8 months. I've only seen 18 minutes of it. I don't even know how it ends. I hope she's still thin at the end.
Do you really think people don't care? Perhaps they should know that obesity increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, gallbladder disease, certain types of cancer, and osteoarthritis, especially of the knee, to name a few. As weight increases, so does the health risk for all related illnesses. In all, obesity contributes to approximately 300,000 deaths a year, making it the second leading cause of death after smoking.
We've had tremendous emphasis on overweight, primarily for appearance sake, I think, in the minds of the public, although the medical profession recognizes that overweight is a health problem. It's getting worse, and now the critical question is, what should we do about it?
The impact of this disease on the American economy is enormous. It is estimated that in 1990 alone, the costs attributable to obesity were nearly $46 billion. This includes $29 billion for cardiovascular disease, $8.8 billion for diabetes, which is over half of all medical costs for diabetes, $3.2 billion for gallbladder disease, $680 million for cancer, and $3.75 billion for musculoskeletal disease. But the news isn't all bad. There is hope for people who suffer from this chronic disease.
We've learned a lot in the last 20 or 30 years about how to help people get weight off. The problem now is how to keep it off. And there are, I think, a lot of exciting new developments coming along. There are new pharmacological interventions that are proving to be successful. But the key will also always be lifestyle interventions, eating a healthful diet, and being regularly physically active.
It's important to set realistic goals when devising a plan to treat obesity. People with BMIs above 27 will probably not get down to the size they were in college. But even a more modest weight loss, say 5 to 10%, can lead to increased overall health. The keys to reaching and maintaining personal weight loss goals are a long-term view of the disease, changes in diet and lifestyle, along with medication when appropriate. If all these options worked as easily as they sound, the weight loss industry would disappear. Obesity is a multifaceted disease, and it requires a varied approach for effective treatment. But that doesn't mean there isn't hope. Along with exercise, diet, counseling, and current medications, new treatments will be available soon. Our new understanding of obesity as a disease, rather than a bad habit or personality disorder, is reducing the stigma and allowing more people to seek help. Taking the long-term view of this chronic disease, rather than looking for a quick fix, encourages the development of realistic treatment goals.
I've been great. You gotta go. Good night.
Obesity might be funny to some, but at Knoll Pharmaceutical Company, it is not a laughing matter. We take this disease very seriously, and we know that we can make a difference. In the past, there have been limited pharmaceutical choices for obese people. We are working to change that and provide new hope for the millions of people who suffer from obesity. We are on the verge of a new advance that represents a tremendous opportunity for Knoll Pharmaceutical Company, and we want you to be ready to take advantage of it. We'll be sending you additional information and training shortly. Keep watching for our updates. The future will be here sooner than you think.